Welcome back, everyone. Sorry it's been a while since I've made my last video. I've been a little bit busy since we last saw each other. Without further ado, let's get started.
Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to be talking about the second generation Scion XB and why it's a good purchase in the used car market. So to start off, the shape of the car is incredibly compact. You've got a really small, compact area back here. It's straight, almost all the way around. But what that does mean is you have an extreme amount of utility. It's straight, it maximizes all of the space provided or taken up by the wheels. So you're gonna get the most interior space you can based on the footprint that the vehicle has. It's really almost perfectly flat, almost all the way across a 90-degree angle. You're really gonna find that there's a ton of interior space here compared to sedans. What's great about that is for the price point, you could buy, your average run-of-the-mill sedan, or you could buy a very capable, compact hatchback that's utilizing as much space as possible and giving you a much more open interior space. Now, regarding interior space, you're not going to find something this large and capable until you get to sort of like the mid-sized truck category. You're going to have to get into like a Tundra maybe to get something that's got as much headroom and utility within the vehicle. Now, coming into the back, talking about cargo capacity, you've got a nice lift gate, hydraulically powered. It's a modest sized area. You're not going to get, the most amount of space in here compared to something like a RAV4, but it's going to be enough for your average Costco haul, depending on how much toilet paper you like to buy. You can also fold down the seats, and really the best part about this is since it's a hatchback, you're going to get so much utility out of the same footprint, even less footprint than a typical sedan. Because the back of the vehicle is straight, it's almost perfectly vertical, you're maximizing the interior space. A lot of hatchbacks, say Subaru Impreza hatchbacks, they have this diagonal cut that ends up eating into your interior space. So if you wanted to store, if you're the person who has animals in the back of your car, or just larger cargo like multiple boxes, you're gonna lose that space and that real estate because of the seemingly useless angular cut. Coming into the car, you're greeted with a very modern interior. This center console here, this display screen is supposed to resemble a boombox to appeal to millennials, but it ended up only catching the boomers' attention. This is a stick shift here. It's very nice because it's mounted high up on the column, so it's only inches away, maybe that many inches away from the steering wheel. So when you're actually driving the vehicle, it's never too far away. Now what that also does is instead of having it here where you're going to be banging your passenger's knee with your hand, it gives you space for cup holders and so many other things. The center console is extremely easy to use. All the fan controls are found in other vehicles such as RAV4s and Camrys of this time, and they're all very simple. You can use these while you're driving and you never have to take your eyes off the road because they're very linearly placed and very easy to use. The dashboard itself kind of has this fake meshing effect. It gives it a nice feel despite this being an economy car. In fact, a no option economy car at the time as well. With so many other things throughout the cabin, silver accents, it's really not a bad car for the money that you're spending, especially when you compare it to more of the beige characteristic sedans in this price point. I picked up this very vehicle here for $2,900, just a hair under $3,000. There are not many cars under $3,000 in this price range that will have the features that it does. Now, another great thing about these vehicles is that they are built in Japan. So they have that Japanese build quality that potentially permeates the very same Land Cruiser and 4Runner. Now, they aren't built in the same factory if I'm correct, but there's something to be said about Japanese build quality. Now, another good thing about this car is located underneath the hood. What powers this car is a 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine. This very same motor also powers the Camry of this time. It also powers the RAV4 of this time. And if I'm correct, it also powers the Toyota Venza of this time. One important thing to know about this car, it has 165 horsepower, if I'm correct, and 165 torque. Now that's a completely linear power curve. That's extremely nice. One thing to look out for though, is that this engine, the 2.4 specifically, in all of these models, including the TC, they burn oil. They had a secret technical service bulletin for an oil consumption test. If you're looking into one of these vehicles, there's a massive oil consumption problem. Toyota issued a technical service bulletin for these vehicles where they tested the oil consumption, and if it failed, then they would rebuild the engine, therefore fixing the oil consumption. Now, if you're looking at one of these cars, any of the cars with this Toyota 2.4, make sure that it's been done. If you don't have it done with the car from the person you're buying it from, you may experience massive oil consumption. And I'm talking about a quart every 1,000 miles or even worse in some circumstances. Now, talking about the driving experience, you've got this gigantic windshield in the front. I can't even reach it with my hand. I mean, I'm not the tallest guy, but I can't even reach it sitting from the driver's seat. Driving this car is like driving a glass house. You've got all this glass and greenhouse space. You can see everything, yet you still have the handling of a compact economy car. Now that's lightweight, zippy, kind of rock hard in some circumstances, but it's fun to drive. It's almost like a hot hatch with the power curve and everything like that. I don't think that you can get a better driving experience if you have to balance the practicality of having a family car and trying to save on money. You've got all this space. I've got this gigantic window here. Because my A-pillar is so far forward and slanted almost straight, I've got so much space in here. It doesn't feel cramped. I've got a ton of headroom. It feels like I'm in a truck almost while I'm in a much cheaper car. Easy to drive. It's comfortable to park. I've got plenty of power to pass somebody, but yet I'm getting an average of 22 to 26 miles per gallon in mixed driving. Now, one thing that I do have to note is that with passengers, they all comment on the headroom in the car, and they comment on how much space that they have. If you don't care for other people's opinions, good on you. But me being insecure, I enjoy the space, and I enjoy giving my passengers a luxurious space. Uber drivers, I'm looking at you. You're gonna get good comments if you buy this car. It's also new enough that you qualify for those ride-sharing driving services. There you have it, folks. I think this is the best car that you can buy for under $3,000. It's fun to drive, it's got Toyota reliability, and it's got lots of safety features. Now, on another note, I only make one of these videos every time I buy and sell one of my cars. That's not exactly feasible, and it's not a good financial decision according to my wife. Now, I'm asking you, if you live in the Seattle area and you've got a car that you want me to review or you want to spend a day with me, let me know. Feel free to contact me in the contact link below. In the next video, I look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to seeing one of your cars.